All right, folks, tonight I'm going to talk about longevity and how to thrive for decades. And yes, this night I'm in a hotel room, as I'm sure you can tell. One of my favorite places in the world I'm in Cherokee, North Carolina right now, up here for 5 or 6 days. But I'm going to talk about longevity and how to thrive for decades. Now, what if I told you that living a longer, healthier life is not just about genetics? You know, so many people tell you, oh, it's all genetics. But the truth is, your daily habits can massively influence how well you age. And if you want to feel amazing in your 50s, 60s, 70s, and beyond, this is the longevity plan to start today. If you haven't started on some of these things already, today is the day. This is a blueprint or a guide. It's backed by science. I'll go over some of that. And it's basically 6 steps. Some of these you've heard before, but I'm putting them all together here and giving you steps and then giving you how to complete the steps. Mike Norris from Mike Norris Fit. I help men over 50 lose weight, get fit, live healthier, and live a healthy lifestyle. Now, first thing I'm going to talk about is when it comes to longevity, we got movement, nutrition, recovery, mindset, and connection. Those four things those five are five big keys. It's not just one thing that's going to help you live longer or live a better quality of life. It's a combination of these things. Um, and those combinations can add years to your life. They did research on what they call blue zones. Blue zones are places around the world where people live to be the oldest. There's about 5 or 6 books written about it now. I've read 2 of them. Some amazing books, and I have the links down below if you want to order them. Of course, I get a small little commission if you order them. But they've studied why these people live so long, and uh, these 6 things that I'm going to talk to you about are the reasons they live so long. The blue zones, and also not just blue zones studies, but longevity studies also. There are longevity studies that prove the exact same thing. Here's the key. By following what people in the blue zones do, you can increase your life, the studies show, by probably 10 and a half years or so, up to 10 and a half years. Increase your lifespan just by following these keys. So I tell you what the blue zones are, and there's one in the United States. There was one originally, there was like 13, I believe, and one of them was in the United States. Now a bunch of little pockets around the United States have been living a blue zone lifestyle. Movement. Number 2, why is movement? You hear me talk about movement all the time. Now, why is it one of the keys to new longevity? Because sitting is the new smoking. Sitting is the new smoking. It increases aging and risk of disease, just like smoking did. People in the blue zones move naturally every day. Some of them because they walk to work. Some of them's work is walking. Some places, most people were sheep herders. Not all, but daily walks is a natural part of their life that they do after dinner with their family and during the day. And everyone, even the wife at home, she's constantly moving all day. They're constantly getting movement during the day. Now, strength training goes along with that. Strength training, as I've told you before many times, slows aging, preserves muscle, gives you, and strengthens your bones, which is critically important as we age. And that's another thing. The people in the blue zones don't seem to fall at an old age and get hurt like people in other places, like the United States, where people are constantly falling and breaking hips and breaking bones and getting hurt. They don't have that problem in the blue zones, or not as bad, I should say. So how do we do our walking for longevity? Well, you want to get about 7,300 to 10,000 steps a day. Now, you may say, you may sit on the couch all day and may not get but 1,000. But you want to get up to about 3,000 steps. Once you get there, increase it 2,000 steps the next week. Then you're at 5, and then keep increasing, going up like that. Majority of the steps we get is not in one big chunk. People think it is, but it's not. The majority of the steps we get are just in daily movement, doing things. And if you don't have an hour to go walk, 30 minutes to go walk in 3, 10, 15-minute chunks. Hey, you can knock it out. You can knock 10,000 steps out easier than you think. Strength training 2 to 3 days a week. You can use weights is the best. You can use body weight, or you can use bands. But some people have dumbbells at home. But strength training is vital for several reasons. You want to build some muscle that you will need at older age. Also, muscle burns fat faster than anything. Muscle burns fat, and that's what we want to do. So also you need to focus on some mobility and flexibility exercises. Mobility and flexibility. Do some stretching. Practice standing on one leg. You'll be surprised. Lift one foot up about 12 inches off the ground and practice standing on one leg or another. That is a great beginning mobility exercise. And mobility and flexibility exercises decrease the chances of you having joint problems and stiffness, which is a big thing. Number 3, our best anti-aging diet. Well, a lot of people will argue about this, depending on what kind of diet they're promoting. But research shows really that probably the Mediterranean diet is the best diet overall. After you've got your body to where you want to get it to, or you've lost the weight you want, Mediterranean diet. And why? Because it's like olive oil is really special. It's a really super healthy fat. But even if you don't eat a Mediterranean diet, you can buy olive oil and put it on your vegetables. You can put it on different things and eat it, but you got to get a good quality olive oil, not some little cheap olive oil. Sugar, ultra-processed foods accelerate the aging. We know that. Sugar really accelerates your aging. You can tell that in people's faces with the sugar and their gut. And processed foods are just full of so many things that are terrible for us. So we want to cut back on that as much as we can. And in the Mediterranean diet, you pretty much don't have much of that. Now, I eat the low carb, high protein, low carb diet, which the way I eat it is sort of a form of a Mediterranean, not as strict as a Mediterranean diet. But if I look at what I eat and what the people in the Mediterranean diet eat, it's not far apart. In blue zones, they eat mostly whole foods. Everybody does not eat in those blue zones. That the first ones they studied, they were not eating a Mediterranean diet, but they ate whole foods. There weren't even fast foods around in some of these places. Some of them they farmed, and they basically farming in their animals. When they needed meat, if they didn't have any meat, they'd kill one of the animals, the goats or the pigs or the cows. And this is not, I'm not talking like hundreds of years ago. This is not that long ago. And these people still live like that in some of those areas. They eat whole foods. Protein, antioxidants, and healthy fats equal longevity. And that's pretty much, I was talking about the Mediterranean diet. In the diet that I eat, protein, antioxidants, is vegetables and fruits, healthy fats, the olive oil, guacamole, different things, healthy fats. And, of course, you're going to eat some carbs, but try to eat healthy carbs. But if you eat those things, you can really improve your longevity. What to eat? I just said lean proteins, leafy greens, leafy green vegetables, berries, nuts, omega-3 rich foods. We need those. Fish, walnuts, and seeds give you that, and protect your brain health. Omega-3 foods are really good for your brain health. Hydrate. Okay, we say it all the time, but people still don't drink enough water. Number 4, make sleep and recovery a priority. You've heard me talk about this before. Anything you want to do, if you can't sleep, you're not going to be able to do it. You're pretty much not going to lose weight. You're not going to gain muscle. You're going to be stuck if you just can't get good sleep. Why? And why is recovery crucial? Because lack of sleep accelerates the aging, it weakens your brain, is in a risk of disease from inflammation. And chronic stress leads to inflammation. And if you can't sleep, if you don't sleep, you're going to develop chronic stress most likely. And those two work in hand to destroy your body and increase your chances of you getting disease. What is a good recovery plan for longevity? Well, 7 to 9 hours of quality sleep. Me personally, I don't sleep 9 hours very often, but I am sleeping better, and I'm getting 8, and I'm usually 7 to 8. I'll have like one night a week where I don't hit that. but but you want to get as much deep sleep as possible. So if you got your activity watch, mine will show me my hours of deep sleep each night. And you really don't get that much. At least I don't. 2 to 3 hours of deep sleep. But I think I read somewhere that that's kind of normal. But any sleep that you can get, even if it's a nap in the afternoon, is good for you. Reduce screen time. We talk about this all the time. Reduce that screen time on the old phone or on your laptop, whatever. Do deep breathing exercises and do meditation. If you like to meditate, do some meditation. If you don't really meditate, just sitting quietly, it's pretty much doing the exact same thing. Relax more. In the United States, we don't, people are just go, 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 go. You need to relax. Get out in nature, walk in nature, read. You can do that out in nature. Do your deep breathing in nature, or just sit by. I love to sit by a river or a creek or something. I can just sit there for hours and just be mindful of everything around you. Practice mindfulness. Number 5, mental health and longevity are connected. Mental health and longevity are connected. So what you need to, you constantly need to be learning new things, challenging your brain. It don't matter how old you are. If you're 70 years old, you can still learn new things, challenge your brain, stay mentally sharp longer. Chronic stress, again, I talked about chronic stress with sleep. Well, with mental health, chronic stress shortens the DNA markers of aging. It basically speeds up your aging. Chronic stress will kill you. Doctors will tell you that. Some brain boosting habits. We said read, learn new things, engage in new hobbies. That's a great thing to keep your brain young. People say crossword puzzles and all that. Well, there's numbers of things you could do. You want to reduce the cortisol, which is a stress hormone in your body. And one of the best ways to do that is have your daily relaxation time. Have a couple hours a day where or an hour where you're just totally relaxing, reading, or just doing nothing, just relaxing. The last one is build social connections. Offline connections is critical, not online texting each other, but it's critical that you meet people and talk to people offline, friends, get new friends. That's critical. In ways you can do it, you can join a walking group, hobby club. There's hobby clubs, pickleball club. It's the new thing. Join pickleball. Of course, a lot of older people are getting hurt, ankle injuries, joint injuries for playing pickleball, but that comes with the territory. Volunteer your services at different places. There's so many things where you can, meet new people. There's so many groups. Stay connected to family and friends. Some of us we go years and years without talking to some of our dear friends we had when we were younger. I've been in that boat. Surround yourself, and I find this very, it's the last 10 years of my life, surround yourself with positive, energetic people. I can't stress that enough. Get rid of people in your life if they're bad for you. Get rid of them. You might have to get rid of them slowly, or you may have to do like I did and just completely cut all communications with a person. So longevity isn't just about adding age. It's about adding years. It's about adding quality years to your life. I don't think any of us want to live for the last 5-10 years of our life where we're out of it. We want quality years, as many quality years as we can get. So what longevity habits are you focusing on the most? Have you been focusing on some of these? Let me know in the comments what you focus on for longevity. And also, if you like this, please like the video, share it with some friends if you think they need it, and subscribe to the channel if you're new. And I will talk to you later. Got some good hikes tomorrow. I got a good hike. I think I'll try to get up to Clingman Dome if I can get there. I tell you, this hurricane that happened in October, I ran into a road closing today. Several waterfalls that I normally go visit were closed. Can't get to them. Down, they still just, there's down trees everywhere. You guys have a great day, and I'll talk to you later.